somebody must be praying for me. Totally different from yesterday. I'm much better. Although I'm restricted, but my movement it's I'm much better than yesterday. So we thank God for that. I decided to do this video and tell you the rest of the story as to how I was finally diagnosed. And thank you so much for your prayers. And God bless you. In mid 2021, I began noticing weakness in my hand. And that time I assumed it was due to lack of exercise, although I was getting plenty of it. So I started exercising my hand regularly, hoping the problem would resolve. It's for the rest of the year, I didn't think much of it because I still had enough strength to carry out my daily tasks. However, in 2022, after moving to Poland, my symptoms began to become more pronounced. I began experiencing high blood pressure and persistent headaches, particularly on the left side of my head. Concerned, I visited a doctor where I was diagnosed with high blood pressure and referred to a neurologist for further investigation. During this period, I also discovered that my B12 levels were low. This was surprising as I had been a vegetarian for over 10 years and I believed I was leading a healthy lifestyle. Diagnosis hit me very hard. I felt dejected and confused. Nevertheless, I accepted it and received 5 B12 shots over the next 5 days to raise my levels, hoping this would alleviate my symptoms. Unfortunately, despite the treatment, my symptoms persisted. This was in 2022. I continued experiencing headaches, weakness, and high blood pressure. In the winter of 2022, I visited a specialist in a city called Brozowi, about 40 kilometers outside Jeju. He was a hematologist. He took my blood samples, and by this time, I had been seeking answers for almost a year now. I started to doubt myself and felt even though, and I felt that my family would think that I was beginning to, I was making up stories that I was sick. The results came, and still, he said there was nothing wrong with me. I was very disappointed. In early 2023, my condition worsened. My speech began to slur, my gait and balance were affected, and I started walking with a limp. I also began to experience severe back pain, which made it increasingly difficult to keep up with my studies. After consulting with my family, we agreed that I needed to take a break from school to focus on my health. In August of 2023, our children joined us in Poland. I remember the day they arrived at the airport vividly. By then, by then I was so weakened that I could not lift them with joy as I had always imagined. I could only hug them. After arrival, it became my duty to take them to and from school by bus every day, a task I managed despite my physical challenges, as my wife was always at work. By 2023, my mother and Auntie Grace came to visit me during the winter time. My mother brought natural remedies from a friend in Zimbabwe, and my Auntie Grace also brought me the Terahed's wand. This helped me with, I was experiencing severe cold hands and feet and back pain. So the Terahed's wand greatly, greatly improved my sleep, and my hands and my feet became warm so that I could sleep. I was deeply humbled by her love, and because she had financed the trip as well. She had taken the time to come with my mother to see me. So her love and support during this difficult time really meant a lot to me. We began discussing the possibility of moving to Scotland to be closer to my mother. My wife made the significant sacrifice of pausing her studies to work as a social worker in Scotland. Despite the challenges, we knew this move was necessary for our family. By December of the same year, my wife had received a visa for the UK and we started preparing to relocate the following year. December 2023, my wife coordinated with a dean of nursing whose husband was the head of the neurological department at the Rudnamawa and I managed to get an appointment with the doctor. Since the head of the department didn't speak English, we met with this junior doctor who conducted an initial examination and suspected that I had Parkinson's disease. Further tests were needed to confirm the diagnosis, and I was scheduled to be admitted to the hospital in January the following year. In January 2024, I was admitted to the hospital and officially I was diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's after spending 3 days in the hospital. During my stay, I was treated with I was treated with intravenous amantics to alleviate my rigidity, and the results were almost noticeable. It was amazing. My movement improved significantly, and I also started to take medication to manage the disease. Later that month, in January, we relocated to Scotland. Our final days in Poland were filled with immense support from our church in charge of the Seventh Adventist Church. They organized a collection among the members to assist us with funds as we were preparing to move. During our final church service, the congregation organized a farewell lunch, prayed for us, and gave us additional financial support. Their love and kindness were overwhelming, and I will never forget the support we received from them. I'm sorry, and I pray that God will continue to bless them. In Scotland, just almost reaching a year since we came. I've been continuing with my medication. Currently, I am on propranolol. I'm taking 24 milligrams a day, and I've seen my. I was registered with the neurologist in Edinburgh, where I'm currently staying. And since I came, I've managed to see him twice, and I am scheduled to see him again this January on the 24th. And we'll, in a nutshell, that's the story of my life.